Hi guys, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Oliveboard Speed Reading Practice 3.0 editorial session. A very good morning. Quickly join in. Manoj is here. Where are the others, Manoj, today? Not everybody is writing the clerk mains exam. Hopefully more people should join. Yeah. So today's article that I have picked up is from Financial Express, something different that we will be reading from Financial Express. So quickly, let's join in, share the session, let everybody come in. We always will start with the vocabulary revision of the previous day, and then we will move to the article, right? You know this. Udit, Jaya, very good morning, guys. Sorry. So people, all those who commented in yesterday's session editorial. Okay, let me check who all did reply for the answers. So we have Twinkle, Prabhuda, Priyanka, Manoj, then Gargi, Subrata and Paras. Well done guys. Others also I request, please on a regular basis do mention your answers in the comments for all the you can say editorial question of the day, right? Gargi, good job. Okay, with the comment, yeah, you did read that other two articles also, you commented also, you did the homework as well. All of you, all guys, I request daily basis when I give you to comment something below the video, question of the day, do answer that. Okay, good morning everybody. I am better, Gargi, I am better. Yeah, so quickly share the session so that more people can join in, everyone, right? Now the thing that I was telling is, for your interview also I am taking PD classes, personality development sessions. So if you can guys, please join the batch NIACL interview. Use my code Harshita for discount. We have foundation course, which is very important. So foundation course is for beginners, particularly for all your preparation from basics to advanced level. ESIC UDC course, then we have, these are multiple courses that I want you to do. Go through the website and check, see the upcoming exams are these only. Now the next opportunity that you have got are these only. You can use my code and get discount. And if you want to access multiple courses, I have told you earlier also, you take one banking super elite plan and you get discount if you use my code Harshita, right? Use code Harshita, plus you can access multiple courses if you buy the full plan. Okay. Uh, yeah, Abida, thank you so much. Gargi, I have replied to your comment. Just check that once, okay? So let's begin, guys. Let's begin very quickly with the revision. Revision part, everybody. आज छुट्टी क्यों कर दे मनोज? अगर हाँ इतना सभी लोग उठकर आए हैं for the session, why should we not take or not have classes? Tomorrow is anyways 26th January. I don't think classes will run tomorrow, Republic Day. I think, yeah, edge people can access by my PD class also in that interview batch. Vijay, just check it once. But I think tomorrow anyways you will not have session. So yeah, everybody, tell me the vocab meanings. This is from yesterday only. So I hope everybody remembers it. Stellar, stellar performance. What is stellar means? As an adjective. Excellent, or you can say extremely high in quality. Stellar growth, right? Fallacy, stupid reasoning is fallacy. I think I told you to remember from false, incorrect reasoning, false belief, something which is misleading belief, misleading notion. misleading argument, belief, okay, invalid reasoning, you can say invalid reasoning. So the logic when is not clear, we say fallacy. Okay, sparked controversy, something which sparked controversy. Now, very clearly, the meaning is something which caused controversy. Sparked is caused to happen, caused, right? नहीं, अंधविश्वास अलग है. हम बोलते जरूर है पॉलिसी का मीनिंग जो होता है वो होता है मिसकंसेप्शन. तो हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? तर्क दोष. जैसे मैंने कल भी लिखा था शायद, तर्क दोष. Tark is reasoning power, tark dosh. Okay. Spark is cause. Spark. Accord. Next one, guys. Accord. Grant something. Grant or give something. Give someone something. Yeah. Grant, accord. The competitors should all be accorded equal request. Should be given equal respect. Right? The competitors should all be accorded equal request means given equal request, right? Accord is grant, give. Okay, next one was interesting, allied, ELIDE. Now it had two meanings. Yesterday what meaning we discussed was omit, cancel, not include, allied. Okay, strike out, exactly. Cancel it, not include it, strike out. Strike out, correct, omit. What was content? Content as a verb, how do we use it? What did we discuss yesterday? Content is compete. Yeah. When you compete with others in order to win, whether an argument, opposition, anything, compete. Mm, not an apt example, Manoj, I will say. Fallacy is a misconception, a belief which is wrong, right? For example, it is a fallacy to believe that money brings happiness, right? It is a fallacy. Sometimes it is not only money that can bring happiness, right? So it is a misconception. It is a fallacy that to believe that money brings happiness. I can give you this better example, right? Manoj, getting the point? Cornerstone, guys, most important part of something, most important part of something is cornerstone, correct. Accelerate, when you say accelerate the process, what do you mean by accelerate? Increase the speed of it, okay, make it quick, right? Make something happen, make something go faster. Okay, hampered, hampered is hinder, obstruct, make something difficult, right? Next is your hasten. Hasten the process is again same, to make it quick. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Okay, speed up. Hasten is speed up, make quick. Okay. So these were your words yesterday that we discussed. I am happy that many of you remember all of these words. Okay. So common ones we should not forget, guys. Now coming to your topic today from Financial Express. Today I have taken an article from Financial Express that we will be reading together. Okay. No business to be in business. Okay. The title is No Business to be in Business. What do you mean by this phrase, no business? If you say that someone has no business to be in place or someone has no business to do something, what do you mean? Yeah. If you say someone has no business, means they don't have the right to do something, they don't have the right to be there. Okay. ठीक है so no business to be in business, right? चलो read the full article, guys. Read the full article. I am writing the meanings for all of you. You start reading. Read the full first paragraph quickly. मैं गरीब हूँ, it seems. Are you broke, Manoj? I doubt that. Done. So this is a year after the budget, financial year 2022 outlined a sweeping agenda for privatization. What is privatization? You all know, right? So privatization is when you transfer the ownership, okay, or the business or the property to a private sector. You transfer the ownership from the government to the private sector, right? So the government does not hold, it stops to be the owner of any business, any entity. You call it privatization, right? So a year after the budget outlined, after the budget told about or talked about the sweeping agenda was for privatization. They talked about privatization or strategic disinvestment. When we say strategic disinvestment, so there is a definition given to it particularly. If I say strategic disinvestment, what does it mean, guys? There is very clear definition of strategic disinvestment. Means when the government decides to transfer the ownership, right? Basically the control of a public sector entity or organization is given to the other entity, right? Whether it is public or private, it is given to somebody else, the ownership is transferred, we call it strategic disinvestment. Okay, okay, right? So this term you have understood. What is strategic sale, or you can also call it strategic disinvestment, both are same, right? So here, privatization or strategic disinvestment of central public sector enterprises, CPSE, government enterprises, right? The progress has been disappointing. We have talked about it, we want to do it, but the progress of privatization, or you can say disinvestment, has not gone in the same correct direction. It has been disappointing. The target was to complete the disinvestment of Air India, all these guys, government firms, government organizations, BPCL, Shipping Corporation of India, Container Corporation of India, IDBI Bank, Pavanans, Neel, Chal Ispat Nigam, BEML. Okay, why did the government want to do this? Obviously, to raise 75,000 crore, that was the target. Okay, out of this receipts is what you get in payment. Okay, so the government wanted to receive this amount once after going for disinvestment. This was the plan, this was their target. Okay, so all of you guys remember these public sector enterprises names also. Okay, these were under the list of companies that were targeted. Okay, for, of course, disinvestment, ownership was supposed to go to somebody else for these companies. Okay, BEML is Bharat Earth Movers Limited. Bharat Earth Movers Limited. Okay. Chalo. Now, what is the difference between privatization or strategic disinvestment and disinvestment? So there is a difference if we just say privatization and if we say strategic disinvestment. Read that. What is the difference? Okay. Uh, Difference between, guys, privatization or strategic investment and disinvestment. These are two different things, right? See, these are similar. Or is written here. So if we talk about privatization, okay, I'll have to correct this, what I have highlighted here. Okay, because when we talk about former, actually we are referring to both of these. Former can be, we are referring to privatization or strategic disinvestment. Okay, and disinvestment just is that the latter is referring to disinvestment. Now see, when do we use former, latter? You should know the usage. Okay, when there are two things mentioned in a sentence. The first thing that is mentioned, we call it former. For example, former here we are using for privatization. Okay. And the second thing that we mention, guys, we call it latter. So according to the arrangement, whatever two things that are mentioned, former is the preceding one, the first one. And what is the second thing mentioned after and? Disinvestment. So latter is for used for disinvestment. Okay. Sridhar, you have your clerk mains exam. Still you are here. Excellent. Huh? All the best. Do well. And don't worry about the section. Be very, very focused when you are reading the question pattern. Okay. Right. Now, guys, see, two things are privatization and disinvestment. The difference is discussed. Right. So, privatization includes a shift of management control of a PSU to the acquiring private party. Means if there is privatization, for example, we talk about privatization of banks. Privatization means that there will be, guys, shift of management control. Okay, it includes that. Okay, but when you talk about disinvestment or strategic disinvestment, basically you are talking about just giving a certificate to the holder, to any other, you can say, organization, whether private or public. Okay, to buy or to have a part in, you can say, the dividends of the company, but there the government will still have control. Okay, the government does not give away the control. Management control is given when it is privatization, but when it is disinvestment, control is still there with the government. Control will still be there with the government. Remember the difference. Okay. हाँ, नेगेटिव मार्क मत करना आंसर्स एक्यूरेसी के साथ, लालच में मत आना. मनोज का भी एक वो है सजेशन, राइट? So accuracy is important in exams, definitely. Clear, guys? Right? Privatization means you give management control also to the other group party, but when you talk about disinvestment, you don't give away that control. Okay? So next one. What happened to people today now? Why the strength is so low? Only, guys, Air India has passed into the hands of Tata Sons Private Limited. Okay. Now for BPCL also the process, okay, is going to be completed. There are efforts for BPCL also. The process will be completed soon by March 31st. Okay, Bharat Petroleum Corporation. The remaining central public sector undertakings are in what? Are in stage 2. Okay, what is stage 2, guys? When we talk about disinvestment, wherein expressions of interest are closed and the transaction process is still in progress. Okay, so there is no sign, there is no indication whether it will be productive or no this particular year, this fiscal. Given the unfinished agenda, the government needs to move on to complete the other transactions as soon as possible. So only till now, with so many companies, the government targeted to disinvest. Only Air India has passed into the hands of Tata Sons. Okay, rest still the transaction is going on. Okay, according to reports, they are still in stage 2. Where expression, what is expression of interest? So when we talk about expression of interest, meaning when two parties talk about there are discussion between the buyer and the seller, okay, about the price what they are willing to pay, okay, to acquire the company. So expression of interest is informal declaration, it is not formal. If we talk about here, it is clearly mentioned. Okay, stage 2 means there are expression of interest, means it's actually informal discussion on the still, okay, declaration that a buyer, okay, whether strategic or financial, will like to purchase a business. So basically it is informal declaration, informal declaration that they are interested in the business, they are willing to buy it, right? Okay, so that informal declaration is there, that is expressions of interest, right? Clear? FE matlab financial express, the newspaper we are reading, financial express, FE is financial express. ठीक है गार्गी? चलो next one. Bare minimum means least possible. Okay, yeah, Sunita, grammar is important. Okay, we say bare minimum as a phrase, Manoj. It will not be barely minimum, a bare minimum amount. A bare minimum is the least possible, the smallest acceptable amount. Okay, right. Sunita, yeah, grammar is very important for all your exams. Okay, we are doing it in foundation batch also. So grammar definitely important. Okay, budget also stated that in 4 strategic sectors, minimum least amount of CPSEs, Central Public Sector Undertakings, enterprises will be maintained under the government's control, whereas in the remaining sectors, they will be privatized. So, of course, it was stated that in 4 sectors, the control will be under the government only, rest will be privatized. So privatization has returned again to the discourse on reform. Again, there are discussions on reform. For the first time since the Atal Bihari Vajpayee-led NDA regime from 1998 to 2004. This earlier happened. There were talks regarding privatization during this time period, 1998 to 2004, under Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, right? So this directional shift of the NDA regime was of course captured by Prime Minister. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also talked about it on in the parliament when he told, okay, which actually attracted a lot of attention. He mentioned this, that government has no business to be in business. Means it is important that government organizations, they should actually go for privatization, or you can say strategic disinvestment. They have no business to be in business. They should not be included or involved in the business. They should not be a part of the management there. So this is a statement that was given by Narendra Modi, and it actually attracted a lot of attention. People noticed it also. Okay, so if you talk about, yeah, this earlier happened, there were talks about privatization earlier in this period, 1998 to 2004, okay, when they were talking about reforms. Now again, there are serious discussions again happening, repeating on privatization, right? Yeah. So next one, next para. We have already started. Yesterday there was a class. Each day, guys, 5 p.m. We have foundation, you can say basic classes. We started yesterday. Sujit on YT. Okay. In the privatization, who will have more management right? The private sector. Okay. Private sector. Mati, now whoever, see, privatization means government can give ownership to other company. The other company can be private company also, public company also. Whoever gets the ownership will have the management control or right. Okay, whoever buys the business in privatization, whoever buys the business, okay, usually it is a private firm, they will get control, management control. So in principle means in general, in general. The government has given an approval to privatize or sell off, here, sell off, OFF, 36 central public sector enterprises, but has succeeded in only 8 cases. Okay, the approval was for 36 organizations, but there are only 8 which have been sold. These are HPCL, Rural Electric Corporation, HSCC, NPCC, and these are all names given of the government organizations, companies that have sold, right? This was mentioned in the parliament. Some of these transactions are strictly not privatization. Okay, now the contrast is, however, if even the government has given or approval for privatization or selling of these units or these companies, if you see the transactions, some of them are not, will not be come under privatization. Okay, so because for example, see this HPCL is already a government owned organization, and it was taken over, the control was taken over by another state owned company only, oil and natural gas. So you can't call this as privatization because it is not a private company the ownership is going to. Okay, you are getting the point, guys? So it was taken over means it was controlled. The control was taken. It was controlled by now another state-owned company. Okay, so it started to have control by ONGC. So we can say there were so many in the list, but only 8 cases are there where we could privatize or sell off. Okay, sell the company, the organization, the shares. Okay, but here some transactions you still cannot call privatization because, for example, HPCL was taken or given the oil ONGC was given control of HPCL, but both are government only, government sector companies only. Okay, so when we say sell off, it is a phrase. Okay, sell something, we always use OFF off. Remember this phrase, everybody. Sale of asset. Okay, when you sell an asset, you can say sell off. Sale of an asset. Sell off. Okay. Love, very, very good morning. Acha, next one, guys. Similarly, one more example is given. Connector similarly. Similar example. REC was taken by state-owned Power Finance Corporation. So what is happening here is, this will not be exact privatization, because what they are doing is the government owner, government company or government organization is taking over or taking control of another government firm. So this is not privatization really. Okay, so REC, for example, okay, was taken by, you can say, Power Finance Corporation. You are understanding, guys? So your REC is Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, which is a government firm, Rural Electrification Corporation. This was taken by Power Finance Corporation. Okay, so guys, what they are doing is, the problem is government owned businesses, government owned entities, they are getting deeper into the business with each other. Okay, but what earlier was actually intended, the intention was to give it to private sector, to give it to private companies. But here what is happening, they are getting deeper into the business with buying government, one government firm or entity is taking control of the government, another government entity. Okay, but the original idea was that government should lose the control, should lose the ownership. Okay, getting it, guys? So receipts from 8 strategic disinvestments were also relatively, so whatever earnings that happened, whatever earnings that the government got from this disinvestment exercise also, that was very, very small. Relatively paltry is too small. Okay, an amount which is too small, paltry sum of money. Okay, so it will not be, it is extremely small, relatively means comparatively it is small, so it will not be very, very useful. If you talk about disinvestment, government, why was government doing disinvestment? There was a target of 75,000 crore that government wanted to bring in because of disinvestment, but the amount they are receiving is too small. Government is raised 10 lakh 77,871 crore. Okay, 10,078.71 crore, which is 23.3% of this investment receipts, right? So the amount, the data is mentioned here. Okay, you can see how small is this. Okay, now we had a big target, big ambition, but the money that we have got till now is still very, very small. So this is what the paragraph says, the data shows, right? Average amount, transactions averaged means to reach an average amount. Okay, get an average only 28% of disinvestment receives. The budgetary target of 42.8% that we had, okay, out of which only little this much is, we had the target of 42.8%. This looks ambitious because the way we are getting from this investment, the amount that we got is actually very, very small. The government got very small amount. Okay, so this is full data given about the receipts what we have got out of disinvestment, right? Now last para, guys. The question is whether the current government, current means present day NDA regime, NDA government, can succeed with privatization any more than if we compare with Vajpayee led regime. So I told you when it was Vajpayee government, then there were many talks and this happened, privatization, they benefited from privatization. Will the same thing happen this time? Yes or no? That is the question. Okay, Vajpayee led government, they successfully privatized Maruti, VSNL. Okay, and but there was a lot of political lightning, means there was a lot of criticism also that came that time. Okay, will it happen this time also? Yes, not everybody will agree to this concept of privatization. It attracted political lightning, means that was huge criticism. Political lightning is used for, guys, criticism. Okay, it attracted very, very serious criticism. Okay, like no other reform did, and was stopped effectively since 2002. This was stopped. Privatization is a fraught exercise. It is not a simple thing. It is a dangerous thing to do. Fraught exercise means it's a dangerous thing to do, and there are many vested interest. Okay, fraught is usually filled with something unpleasant, filled with something, a situation which is dangerous, unpleasant. Okay, so it's not easy. If you talk about privatization, it's not easy. It is something unpleasant, something dangerous. Why we say that? Because there are too many interests opposed to it. Okay, vested interest. When we say vested interest, legal interest, fully and unconditionally guaranteed. If somebody has legal benefits, okay, legal rights, those are there, and privatization is just opposite to that. Okay, now this includes, people are against it, many go against it. This include the affiliates also, the connected parties also. right? Like for example, the Swadeshi Jagran Manch. Okay, so affiliates are the connect of the ruling party. Okay, NDA government must therefore speed up this process and do so in a highly honest way, transparent way, open way. Okay, open and honest manner. They should actually go ahead with the process so that it does not easily get derailed. Means till now we are not able to achieve the target, the government is not able to achieve the target. Okay, so to make progress without getting hindered, okay, it should not get derailed, means it should not go off track. Okay, it should not be derailed or obstructed. There should be no hindrance. Okay, it should go as per the target. Clear? हाँ, अब पढ़ो, अब एक बार रीड कर लो लास्ट पैराग्राफ की, क्योंकि मैंने मीनिंग्स लिखे हैं. इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. यू रीड दिस नाउ, यू रीड दिस पैरा. डन. अच्छा, overall if I say the meaning, if I say the context of this para, will this government be successful in privatization like the previous Vajpayee government? Will it be successful in the same way or no? That is still to be seen. But the government must speed up the process, okay, and in transparent manner must work so that the target, they don't go off track. Derail is when they go off track from the target, right? Okay. So what is the overall theme? If you say overall tone, no business to be in business. The agenda was privatization, strategic disinvestment of public sector enterprises. But the government is, progress has been disappointing. We have not been able to complete our target of disinvestment or privatization. That is what is the writer writing. Talking about the same thing with examples. Okay, till now only Air India has been passed into the hands of Tata Group, right? Others, still there are discussions going on. Okay. And though Prime Minister has talked about it, that in the parliament, that government is not required to be in the business or should not be in control of the companies, should give ownership to private sector. But still nothing has as far come to a conclusion. We have not achieved our target. There are still many companies remaining for which disinvestment has to still happen. Okay, so I think it is more of information, right? And yeah, there was a lot of data. Okay, so analytical, you can definitely say analytical, and based on that conclusion is there. Definitely there, Gargi is right. ठीक है. हाँ, गवर्नमेंट बिजनेस करना चाहती है स्लीपिंग पार्टनर बन के. गवर्नमेंट डजंट वांट, what according to what we have come to know, they don't want the management control. They just want to strategic disinvestment means obviously they will give the control. They don't want to keep the control. Okay. So analytical tone overall plus informative also regarding the topic. Okay. Although means halanki, bilkul. Udit, correct. Now grammar lesson, if I say, please remember former and latter adjectives. Former and latter. So two adjectives which we always learn. So former and latter both are used for position. For example, there are two things mentioned in a sentence. The first thing that is mentioned will be former. The second thing that will be mentioned will be considered latter. Okay, so former and latter are not for time. Both these words show position. Okay, both these words show position. For example, in the sentence when we read it, former means here it meant privatization, and latter means disinvestment. So both different terms. First, privatization was written, so former was for privatization. Second, disinvestment was written, so latter for disinvestment. So both these terms, adjectives are used for, both these adjectives are used for position. Okay. Although का use, although is for contrast, हालांकि, ठीक है. Although के साथ हमेशा सुनीता yet का यूज होता है ग्रामर में. Although के साथ हमेशा yet, हालांकि, ठीक है. हाँ, so although he is handsome, comma, he is poor, right? Yet he is poor, right? So although, contrast. Chalo guys, which is, tell me quickly the vocabulary for today. Sweeping. We say sweeping agenda. This is what you read. So having a great impact. Having a, sweeping is having a great and important effect. Sweeping. Prabhavshali. Right? Sweeping reforms. We say sweeping agenda. We say, getting it how we use this adjective. Sweeping agenda, sweeping reforms. Fraught. Fraught is something unpleasant, filled with something unpleasant. Fraught, a situation fraught with danger. Okay. Filled with something unpleasant. ठीक है, fraught with, filled with. Okay. Next is paltry. Very small, too small, meager. Yes, too small amount. Paltry. Correct. Priyanka? हाँ. Paltry amount we say बहुत ही कम. ठीक है, ना के बराबर you can say, very very small amount, or usually we use it for amount only. ठीक है. हाँ. तुच्छ, बहुत ही छोटा amount. Paltry. Discourse. Guys, what do you mean by discourse? Discourse, usually we say discourse on. Discourse on a particular topic. Discourse is a noun word, by the way. Discourse is a noun word meaning long and serious discussion on something. Long and serious discussion on something is called discourse. So that is why we say discourse on a topic, right? So किसी विषय पर गंभीर चर्चा, सीरियस डिस्कशन. ठीक है, किसी विषय पर गंभीर चर्चा. Underwhelming, overwhelming, underwhelming. Now underwhelming is obviously something which is disappointing, which has failed to impress. Or failed to make any positive impact, which is somewhat disappointing, right? Underwhelming, disappointing. Clear? Not meeting the expectations. Correct. Very correct. Fructify. Fructify as a verb means to make productive. Make productive. Bring results to something. Fructify. Okay. Effectively, bring results to something. Make productive. Fructify as a verb if we use it. productive, right? fructify, फलित होना, okay, we basically give some result. Okay, retain is hold. Retain is continue to have something, continue to keep something. Okay, not lose. Keep to have something. ना गवाना, कोई चीज गवाना नहीं मतलब रिटेन करना. You still retain it, you hold it. Okay, despite all the problems, she still has retained her sense of humor. Okay, so that is retained, still have a hold of it. Stalled, obviously it means stop or avoid doing something, stop doing something. कोई चीज रोकना, stop. Stalled. Okay, entail मतलब involve करना, include करना. ठीक है, entail. This job's offer sounds interesting, but I don't know what it entails, what it involves, what it includes. Okay, vested interest, guys. How did we use this word? It was written vested interest. Somebody who has a legal benefit or right on something, right? Bestowed interest. We use it as adjective. Okay, fully guaranteed as a benefit. Fully guaranteed as a legal right, benefit, privilege, anything. Okay, having a vested benefits, vested interest, legal interest, right? Abysmal, no, I think these are not connected words. Yeah, extremely bad. Abysmal is abysmal performance, extremely bad. Okay, Sunita, extremely bad. Stall is stop. Stall to hota hai rokna. Okay, so these important words, please try and remember from the context. The other two editorials which I thought are important you can read are 25th January newspaper from the Hindu, India needs a national vision and devastating impact of school closure. Okay, so these two are important from the Hindu today. Question of the day, what do you mean by the phrase no business, right? How do we use it? Mention in the comments below. Now tomorrow, guys, is a holiday, but yeah, we will see whether if we get the newspaper, definitely we can have the session also. So don't worry, online session, we can definitely have the class. Obviously, we'll see tomorrow what is it and I'll let you know. Now today 5 p.m. again I will meet you. We have already started with foundation course on both Oliveboard and today also we have practice session in the evening 5 p.m. Be there. Plus we have paid classes. You all know 10 a.m. 11 a.m. we have sessions for ESIC, UDC, batch. Be there and yeah, throughout the day we have many sessions. Okay. And what I wanted to ask you is I'm also planning vocabulary marathon very very soon. So if you are interested, do let me know. Okay. PDF Telegram पे नहीं मिलता, अब मिलता है उदित, सारे PDFs मिलते हैं. I also pin the PDF of the session. So yeah, you have to check again after each class. PDF is pinned. Okay. Guys, I will know about the upcoming sessions. Continue your reading. Do finish the two editorials I told you. And participate daily. Do not miss these sessions. Okay. For tomorrow, I'll tell you. It is a holiday, but we can have a class, I feel. So let's see. Okay. Yeah. Chalo. And yeah, I was wishing we could have one vocabulary. What? Marathon. So that also I will inform you. right? ठीक है, thank you guys, thank you so much.